The time machine diet, eating for time. Welcome in, much love, Trav here. And this could be a course in itself, the time machine diet, for those of you who want more time, you want to live longer, you want to protect yourself from catastrophic time loss of illness, disease, death. You want to spend less time eating, spend less time preparing food, or you want to free your time up so you can spend more time eating, more time preparing food, because that's what you like to do. It all depends, but welcome aboard as we talk about eating for time. And we're going to cover three main things here. The first being eating for longevity. The second thing being eating sequencing for more energy, less time eating. And then the third thing is we're going to talk about how to prepare food in less time. And again, we all agree we want to eat for longevity, protect against catastrophic time loss. Some of you might really like to eat, and I like to eat, but you might really like spending time eating and preparing food. And again, you're going to want to outsource other things to free up time for that if that's what you like. But first, eating for longevity. The rain's abated here, so let's go for a little walk. Eating for longevity. Number one is, right, the longest people eat a certain way generally. They don't get diabetes and die. They don't drink high fructose corn syrup. You're going to want to cut that out. They're eating fruit sugars, but not high fructose corn syrup. The longest living people are not eating a lot of meat. They're not getting a lot of cancer and heart disease that it's linked to. Some meat is fine. The longest living people are generally not smoking. They're not getting lung cancer. The longest living people are not getting are dying of alcoholism, although they often are drinkers. They're moderate. So again, we want to live a long time and be healthy and have a high quality of life. Otherwise, we're losing out on so much time that we could have lived in this life in good health. What the longest living people are eating are lots of fruits and vegetables and things with anti-cancer properties, time insurance against catastrophic time failure, stuff like garlic, ginger, turmeric, onion, blueberries, berries, stuff like this that has science behind it to show that there's cancer preventative stuff in this. That's what you want to eat. We're not going to get too specific, but because there's a lot of variety with the people who live very long time in good health, but it's mostly fruits and vegetables, a little bit of meat, a little bit of wine, and not a whole lot of meat, lots of fruits and veg. So that's time machine diet step one. Part two is eating for spending less time eating, for those of you who want to spend less time eating. Intermittent fasting is really popular right now. It's also a big thing. It's a big thing in a lot of athletic communities right now. Intermittent fasting is, instead of eating breakfast and lunch and dinner, where you have a 12 or 16 hour time eating window, you cut down to, say, a 6 hour time window where you start eating at 4 p.m. and finish by 10 p.m. You eat the same amount of food, but you spend less time eating, and you spend less time digesting with lag digestion when you want to be working. You get all your work done before you eat in the day. This is what I like to do right now in 2017 now, and it works super awesome because it takes so much energy to digest food. That energy is diverted from our brain that could be used on working or doing things, being efficient, right? Or doing things, learning, or doing things that require a lot of energy, athletic things, or whatever you want to do. If you want to have more attention, energy for it, then do it before you eat, and eat a bunch, eat the same amount, but eat it in a shorter time window. That's the basic concept of intermittent fasting. You spend less time eating and have more, feels like you have more time. I find that way, and you do have more time, and you still get to enjoy the eating. You get to gorge a little bit too. Intermittent fasting. All right, now for those of you who love cooking every day, this maybe doesn't apply to you, but for those of you who want to spend less time preparing food, a few basic concepts are: one, in the long term, in the midterm, you can order in food from healthy spots. You could have a chef, eventually outsource that shit, or you can prepare things in batch. And I did this last night. You cook up a bunch of rice, you cut up a bunch of tomatoes, some mushrooms, some ginger, some garlic, some habanero peppers, and you throw them in, you cook all that up, and I have like 6 meals ready, right? That's one example, and there's many. Is you cook in batches, you have one day, or some days where you just cook in epic and you put it in the fridge. Or if you're cooking for a week or 2 weeks, some people do this, you can freeze it in the freezer, and then the day before you take out your meal and put it in the fridge for it to thaw. That's what you can do, and that way you spend less time preparing food if you're preparing food every day. And we do want to be preparing a good amount of our food, not necessarily because it's money efficient, because again, depends on your priorities, but we have a lot more control over what we're eating that way, and it can be quite a bit healthier. So that's the time machine diet, basic principles. Eat to live a long time and in high health. Avoid diabetes, heart disease, cancer. Cut out high fructose corn syrup, excessive drinking, smoking, excessive meat. Eat a lot of leafy greens and fruit and fresh out the ground, high quality stuff. Eat anti-cancer stuff, live a long time. Use intermittent fasting to have more energy to do the things that you want to do, so you can spend less time eating, less time worrying about food, less time laggy, sleepy, tired, digesting, and outsource the cooking or prepare in batch if you want. Spend less time cooking. That is eating for that's a time machine diet. So hope that saves you years, if not decades, on your life, adds quality to your life, and add some time this week. If it did, email me testimonialwubrews@gmail.com. And thank you very much. I hope you found this super useful. Really beautiful day, right? The sun came out. And that's about it, though. I will see y'all soon. See you in the next video. Time machine training. Let's get it. Go get it.